Today during this webinar, would like to, so Michael and myself would love to introduce you the partnership we've launched together between SUPERHOG and Minut, and to explain to you why it made sense to create this strong partnership between the two companies. And so we're going to be doing that through this webinar, which is about increasing the protection of your property, of your short-term rental, without increasing the cost. And so today we're going to be covering how you can protect your property from start to finish. So before the guest arrived to when the guest has left. And so I'm very happy to be doing that today with Michael. So Michael, if you want to quickly introduce yourself.
Hi, everyone. My name is Michael Friedman, for those of you who don't know me, and I'm the Vice President for Growth and Business Development in North America for SUPERHOG. So it's good to be here with you, Caroline. Thank you.
Thank you, Michael. Happy to have you on board for this webinar. And so myself, I'm Caroline, and I'm the head of partnership at Minut. And so I've been working with Michael on this great partnership. And before we dive into the webinar and into this presentation, we have a quick poll for you. So if you can take just a few seconds to answer. So we'd like to understand if you ever had any damages or noise issue coming from guests. So you should see a poll popping on the side of your screen. So normally this is done automatically. If you can just take a few seconds, and then Michael, once you're ready, the poll has arrived. So you can see it on the side of your screen on the right. And thank you everyone is answering, because this is going to be very helpful for us. Gathering those information always help us to understand the need of the market and how to adapt our services and products. So thank you for answering. And once you're ready, Michael, I think the room is yours now.
Sounds great. Yeah, looks like we've got quite a few answers. So thank you for everyone who has shared in the survey. We appreciate that. So let's jump in. We're going to talk today about quite a few things, but I think as we look at technology and vacation rentals and what SUPERHOG has done with Minut and our partnership, starting off by how the right tech stack can save you time and money. So I'll jump over to that next slide, and then so let's discuss first what a tech stack is. I think most of us realize and understand what a tech stack is. But for those of you who are on the call who may not have a tech stack or are looking to build one, it really consists of several things. It consists of your property management software that you might be using. Then it can consist of other proprietary tools that you're going to be using in running your vacation rental management business. And that's everything from pricing tools to revenue management tools to guest experience tools. But then also on our end, making sure that there's tools built in place for guest verification and damage protection. And then obviously the Minut product for noise. And so one of the key things is that you can use a combination of technologies to really make sure that you're running your business efficiently and effectively. I think when we look at this further, how the right tech stack can save you time and money, I want to kind of emphasize the word right here, because there are a lot of people building tech stacks that are out there today, and they're not using the right tools, or the tools aren't serving them in an efficient and effective manner. So it's really important that you have the right tech stack, and the things that are there for you are serving the products and services that you're using are working, and that's really done by automating that from a manual process. And part of that manual process, and we'll talk more about this in a little bit, something that we do at SUPERHOG is through our guest screening, which really removes the need for you to physically collect information from the guest. I think the biggest part to the tech stack, and when you start looking at efficiency and time and money, is the increased efficiency. And really making sure, I think that's the key. For most of us who are in this industry or have been in it a long time, speed is really the element here that we're looking for. And I think as you grow your business, even if you've only got a couple properties and you're looking to scale, speed and efficiency is really important. And using tools like SUPERHOG and Minut are going to give you that distinct advantage that you might have over your competition in the marketplace that you're currently in. And then the other big piece to this puzzle is, how do you reduce damage? And using noise monitoring system, a system like Minut, using a SUPERHOG for your guest verification and damage protection, those are two key elements to really reducing damage. And we'll talk more about that. And obviously, we want to make sure we answer any of your questions as it relates to the damage side of things, or the noise monitoring side of things as well. So just some things to be thinking about as you look to create that right tech stack. And I would again go back to what is the right tech stack for you? And there are some great tools out there. So here's some interesting damage statistics, and we'll be sharing this in the recording. But I think these numbers are pretty interesting and fascinating. 1 in 5 guests have caused property damage. I don't think that's really an uncommon number. I mean, I think sometimes we even see that number can be a little bit higher. The average age of people causing damage is between 18 and 34. Those are the individuals who are causing most of the damage. 1 in 10 guests has caused damage of over $200 or more. But I think the number that really kind of struck out to me as we looked at these numbers and added them to the presentation was the average cost per property damage in 2021 was just shy of $1,300, which is quite a bit. And when you really think about it, if you as a property manager, $1,300 is a lot of damage. It's not just a wine glass breaking or a hand towel being stolen or the kids drawing magic marker on a wall. It's a substantial amount of damage. So damage increases. I don't want to say they're going up, but the cost of those damages is definitely going up. 1 in 20 guests admit they treat a vacation rental with less respect than their own property. And again, I kind of find that number interesting. 1 in 20, it's not a huge number, but it's still a number that's out there that, we have to realize that guests, when they are staying in a property, don't really take maybe the ownership that they should and care of that property as they should. And then the last number here is 12% of chargebacks. And one of the things I'll talk about here in a little bit is, one of the features and services that we now provide at SUPERHOG is a chargeback guarantee. And it's one of the things that is really, the most challenging right now in the industry, as far as property managers here in North America really experiencing a high level of chargebacks. And so we identified that as a solution where we can, use our SUPERHOG technology, our guest verification, our damage protection, but also provide a chargeback guarantee product and process. So we'll get more into that as well. But those are just some numbers and statistics that I wanted to share with the group that I think are quite interesting. So how do we protect bookings before and after, and how can we help you save money and time? First and foremost, what we do is we do a guest screening process on the front end. So after a booking occurs, we do a verification process on the guest, whether that booking comes in as a direct booking or it comes through one of the OTAs or one of our partners, where we actually ask the guest to provide several pieces of information: their name, their date of birth, their address. We can actually verify if it's a real phone number or if it's a burner phone. And then we verify email. And what's nice about the email process is we can actually see when that email was created. So if it was an email created at 12:01 a.m. for a booking that that they want to take place on, say the following morning, that would be a red flag that person may be looking to have a party or do something illegal. And then the other two pieces of guest screening that we provide is we ask for a copy of their passport or photo ID, and then an upload with the biometric facial scan of a selfie. And so what's really important in all that process is that when that verification is done, we then protect it with our damage protection, up to $5 million of damage protection. So what we're saying is that really our focus is, number one, eliminating the bad character before they even book the property, whether they're there to have a party or do something illegal. But we also know that damage occurs. And when damage does occur, SUPERHOG is there to protect that property for your owners and give them the peace of mind, first and foremost, that the guest who's staying in their property, we know who they are, and should damage occur, we're there to help with the dispute and the resolution of getting them paid. And that's really a key feature of our system. And then, as I mentioned, our chargeback protection. So it covers a reservation up to $10,000 at the moment. And what's nice about it is that when chargebacks do occur, and we have all probably on the call have all had them or have experienced them, is that we have a protection process in place that will work with you to provide evidence to show that the guest agreed to the terms and conditions, and that we'll go to bat for you and work with you with your credit card providing processing company to win those chargebacks back, essentially. So we're doing some really unique things at SUPERHOG, but first and foremost, our focus is to really make sure that all of your bookings are protected and verified, answering, I think, a couple of important questions. Number one, who are you dealing with? Who is that guest? Number two, can you trust them? And number three, should damage occur, what processes do you have in place to make sure that you're covered? So those are some of the things that I wanted to talk about today. I'm going to shift it back to Caroline because I know she's got some great information on how we're working together and what Minut is doing to add additional value to this process.
Thank you, Michael. Thank you very much for your presentation. And so, so as you all understood, we SUPERHOG is the company that provide protection before and after the stay. And so the reason why this partnership made so much sense is that we come to complement this by coming during the stay. And so Minut is all about monitoring the privacy, the property of monitoring your property during the stay. And so how we do that is, so the technology has been something that has been increasingly more and more important. And so we are focusing today on party prevention. So there's been an increasing number of parties during the pandemic. We've seen a shift in how people behave. We've seen a lot of bars, a lot of nightclubs closing. And so people taking the parties from those places to the short-term rental. And so this has become a very big problem because not only it can lead to having bad reviews with your guests, bad relationship with your guests, you can sometimes even have to kick them out, but it also leads to having bad relationship with your neighbors. And we know that's very important because most of you here are running a full-time business. So it's important for you to make sure that those revenues keep coming in and that you keep those good relationship with your neighbors. And also, like in the worst case, of course, there is the risk of increasing costs, increasing damages, and having to either use your SUPERHOG insurance or even having to pay more than that, because of course insurance can't cover everything. And so this is something that technology has been focusing on, and technology has also become an essential part of short-term rental, because as people have shifted their way of living, their way of working, there is an increasing need to be able to monitor and understand what is happening in your property within a distance. And when considering this technology, there is one thing you really need to take into consideration, of course, is the privacy. So whenever you put any piece of tech in your property, even in your own home, this is something that you need to consider. Is it respecting the privacy of my guests, of my neighbors? And so that's why, we're seeing more and more technology come into the short-term rental industry. And this is the question that companies need to ask. And this is something that Minut has been putting in front of line. And this has been part, of course, of our value, part of our vision. And so when talking about technology, we're of course talking about a device. And so Minut is a device that can be installed anywhere. So it just sits on the ceiling, and you can it works on battery. You can decide also to plug it if you'd like. And so the idea is that you can really put it anywhere you need it. And Minut has been we're working on developing feature that answer to the need of their short-term rental industry. And so that's why today we're offering noise monitoring, occupancy monitoring, temperature, alarm, and so much more. And of course, so the idea today is to tell you about how we help protect your property, and would love to tell you more if you want to know more about all our different features. And so really what has been a very a feature that has been extremely helpful for property manager and for host has been the noise and occupancy monitoring. So when we talk about protecting the property, we talk about protecting it when it's occupied and unoccupied. And so when it's occupied, we want to make sure that we're able to tell you when there's a party, when the decibel level, the noise is being too loud. But also sometimes it's not just about the party happening. Sometimes people start gathering and the noise isn't even loud yet. And so with the occupancy monitoring linked to the added to the noise monitoring, we're really able to tell you what is happening in the property. And we're doing so much more than that, because we're also able to tell you to protect your property when it's not occupied. So as I was saying, we're also offering an alarm feature. We're also recognizing the noise of smoke detector. We're also doing temperature, humidity levels. So if ever like the temperature in your property drop for any reason. And we actually had a very interesting case from a host that was telling us that one of their guests left some ashes in the barbecue, and it caught on fire. And so because we were able to notify the host was able to go to the property. And so this is what I mean when it's been very important for hosts to be able to protect their property when the guest is inside, but when also the guest has left, it just for good or even just for the day, it's always good to know that the property is being safe. And also, like, one thing that Minut has been focusing on is to really share the message that for us, most guests are good guests. And sometimes they just don't know that they're being too loud. So that's why also we've put together a feature that enable the host to communicate directly with the guest. So we've seen that in 94% of the cases, if you communicate directly with the guest, they would lower the noise. So I'll talk a bit more about this feature in the next slide. But really, yeah, so technology can really help you to protect your property at different stage of the stay. And so this is why the partnership with SUPERHOG had made so much sense is, as Michael was explaining, SUPERHOG with the guest screening protect before, we protect during when it's empty or occupied, and they come after if needed with the damage protection. So yeah, so to get back to the point of this presentation, we're here also to tell you how to save money. So how to protect your property, but also how to save money, to do that while saving money. And so one aspect of it is optimizing your operation. And you can do that with technology by bringing technology, you can save time, and we know that time is money. And so Minut is offering different features that can help you optimize your operation. Either you're working as an individual host, or either you're working with at a property management company with several employees. So you have the possibility to manage our app, manage our dashboard. And one feature that has been very helpful is the checking and checkout message. So you can know when your guests are coming in, you can know when they're leaving. You can also schedule a message. So either just to say hi, to say just welcome to the property, or you can add any information that you may like. So, Wi-Fi password or smart lock code, whatever you may like. I was also talking about the automated guest communication. So this is a great way when you have a party that is getting out of hand, or just when guests are being too loud, with the ability of sending them a direct SMS or an auto call, which is something that Minut offer. We've seen that guests will, in less than 50 minutes, they will quiet down, or so they will either stop the party or they would move the party to another place. So we are really working here with hosts, but also with guests, making sure that everybody is comfortable, making sure that the short-term rental is working for everyone. And one thing also that we're working really hard on is to make sure to save time and save money to host and property managers is by doing integration. So companies can either integrate to us, or we can also integrate to them. And the idea is to automate the flow as much as possible, because we want host and property manager to be able to really focus on their business and not have to worry about what is happening in the property. And so that's why by automated the flow, the communication with the guests, the noise monitoring flow and occupancy flow, then we're really able to give that time back to host and property managers, and so they're able to just focus on their business. So yeah, so I think this is it from my side. And so again, I really want to emphasize why this partnership made so much sense is the ability to protect your property from start to finish. And the idea behind that is by, as Michael was showing with the different numbers he presented, is damages can cost a lot of money to host, to property management companies. And unfortunately, it's very complicated to know if you don't have any kind of protection, if you're not using technology. It's impossible to know either the guest you're welcoming is a good guest or not. And so that's why companies like SUPERHOG and Minut are coming in to help you and to support you in your operation, and to make sure that you can develop your business and grow your business. So yeah, before we jump into the questions, we have one last poll for you. So if you can answer. So yeah, we would love to know if you want to learn more about SUPERHOG, about Minut. Of course, we will get in touch with you after this, and we will be able to share more information with you. We'll take question after this. So I'll give you a few minutes to answer. And as you're answering, I would also like to share this code with you. So we have 2 discount codes that we're very happy to offer you today. So the first one, Minut SUPERHOG 20, is giving you a great discount on Minut on our Pro plan. And then we have Minut March 22, which will give you 30 days free for the SUPERHOG offer. So those discounts are only for this webinar. So this is only for you. And yeah, so Michael, is there anything you want to add before we jump to the questions?
No, I appreciate everyone being here. I think it's a great partnership that we've developed, and I think we're doing some really great things. And I know we're going to continue to improve the partnership and bring additional offerings to the industry in the coming months and the coming years. So no, it's an exciting time. And I do know there are some questions, so I'll let you kind of start, Caroline, with that. It looks like most of them are directed to you.
Oh, are they? So, all right.
Can you see them? If not, I can read them to you if you'd like. So it looks like there's a question from Elizabeth. She asked, she said, are we required as property managers to notify guests prior to the stay? Are they being noise monitored and where they're located, i.e. Airbnb requires that we indicate where the monitors are?
Yes. So Elizabeth, thank you for your question. And so yes, Airbnb required hosts and property managers to indicate this. So this is something that you can put in the criteria of your listing. As a company, Minut, we very much recommend that you communicate this with your guests. This is a privacy safe tool that you can use to protect your property. And we have a lot of different marketing materials, and so that we can provide you if you get in touch with our team to help you communicate with your guests. Then to where it is located, no, this is not something that you have to do. You just have to say that it is in the property, and then it is up to you how much detail you want to give. But yeah, it's always good to keep the communication clear and open with your guests to make sure that they trust you and that they want to come back, because in this case you have absolutely nothing to hide. You're respecting their privacy. You're just protecting your property. And then another question is, are PM able to set the decibel level of unacceptable noise? Good. So yes, of course. So the Minut device come with a preset threshold that you're able to tailor depending on your needs. So of course, if your property is in the middle of nowhere with no neighbors and you don't care so much about the noise, but you want to make sure that you're protecting the inside of your properties, or if you're in an apartment building in a city center, the decibel level won't be the same. This is again something that you can find on our website for more information. We can help you set your decibel level. And everything, you can change everything in the app. It comes with preset, with default thresholds, so that way we can help you with that. And can the Minut monitor go outside? So as of today, we don't recommend to put the Minut device outside. This is an indoor device, so this is not something we would recommend. Then, does the size of the rental relate to the likelihood of party? So we are seeing that rentals with 3 bedroom and up are more likely to have parties, because of course they can gather more people. But then, a party is not so much about how big it is, it's also about how much you will annoy your neighbors and disturb your neighbors. So if you have a smaller place but that is located in an apartment building, a party of 2 can be enough to be considered a party. Question. So another question from Elizabeth. There's a bug out there saying that these noise monitors are very sensitive. Can this sensitivity be adjusted if too sensitive? Yeah, so as I was saying, the device come with preset threshold to help you understand that below a certain level doesn't make sense, and above a certain level doesn't make sense. What we are doing here is we're trying to guide you to really fit to the need of your properties. The same as our preset threshold is 10 minutes, meaning that if there is noise during 10 minutes or above, you will get a notification. The minimum can be 5 minutes, but it doesn't make sense to just let you know when there is a high noise level, because it can be just a door slamming, or it can be just a high pitched noise that doesn't last. So we've done everything we can to really help you understand when there is a real need to pay attention to what is happening in your property. And then again, you will be able to change the decibel level, to change the duration time if you'd like. Yeah, so another question from Lauren. Any tips to convince the owners it's worth investing in prevention? Yes, of course. So this is what we do on a daily basis. So we have a lot of materials and a lot of ways we can help you discuss with your owners how we can help to protect their property, and we can of course share that with you after the call. If you want to get in touch, we will also get in touch, send you some materials after this call.
Yeah. Excuse me. The other thing I'll share on that just real quickly as far as tips. One of the things we provide all of our clients at SUPERHOG is a marketing pack, and a couple of things that we really highly recommend is, number one, on your listings, you do state that you are using a service that is doing guest verification, and you will go through that process. Just makes the guest aware that they're going to go through that process, and I would say 99.9% of the time guests don't have an issue with it. But then we also provide marketing on the other side. So when you are going out and you're looking for new homeowners in your owner acquisition, bit part of your business, one of the nice features is we provide you marketing material around that to let homeowners know, you are using a guest verification tool and you're providing a substantial amount of coverage. So like I said earlier, it gives the owner peace of mind that you're doing that. And I would think, I know that most owners love the fact that you'll know every guest who's staying in their property, who they are, they've been verified, and they are who they say they are. And it's just a nice added tool that gives you maybe a little bit of an edge over your competition in the markets you're in.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for that, Michael. Seems that we have more questions.
Yep. It says my PMS is not compatible with Minut for guest communication. Is there a manual workaround?
Yes, absolutely. So today we have a list of PMS that we integrate with on our website. So this list is being updated on a weekly basis. Our team is working very hard to bring more PMS to the integration list. Please share with us which PMS you're working with, because we're always listening to our customers to kind of understand which direction to go when it comes to integration. And finally, yes, there is a manual way to do it. So you can just, the PMS will automate the flow, but you can just do it manually on the dashboard. You can add your guest information and check-in and check-out dates, and it will work the same way. Elena, oh, perfect. Great, thank you for sharing that. And so the next one is regarding the crowd detect feature. So yes, we do have plans to work on this, and we will share more information as soon as we have more. But we're not forgetting people with other type of devices. The next one is for you, actually, Michael.
Yep, it says, does SUPERHOG cover damage above VRBO or Airbnb air cover, or do we have a damage waiver? And if so, SUPERHOG can cover what the OTAs would not cover. So the answer is yes. And what I tell everyone that I work with is that I recommend that, if you have air cover in place, which you obviously do through your Airbnb bookings, keep that in place. But use us as really the first line of defense against the damage, because most of you know, or maybe you don't know, if there's a high propensity to damage in an area, Airbnb does reserve the right to pay slowly, or not pay, or look at a booking and say, your $500 damage claim, we only really think it's worth $250. At SUPERHOG, when you submit that claim, if there's the evidence, it's showing it's proof, we're going to agree with you that that's a $500 claim, and that it's going to get paid out within 24 to 48 hours. And so I think it's really important that, yes, continue to use those, but use us for the verification and use us as that added additional layer. And I would say come to us first if there's damage before you go to the others. And as far as damage waivers are concerned, we just launched, and we'll have on Wednesday of this week a new damage waiver product that will be available for property managers as well. So whether you're using a competitor at the moment and are tired of paying really high premiums for that, we have a really nice product that we're going to be rolling out this week as it relates to damage waivers and helping you build a lot of revenue from that product.
Great. Do you want to answer the next question as
well?
Yeah,
it says, can we verify an Airbnb guest? Yes, correct, we can. And what's cool about that is, so when we get a verification notification, or when we get a booking, I guess is really the best way to describe it, we are able to send out an email to that guest, but also we know that with Airbnb, obviously a lot of times those messages are redacted and you can't get to them. So we have a texting capability. So the guest will still receive a notification. Thank you, Caroline, for your booking. Please click this link to do your verification. And we're still able to collect all of that information as well. So that's just a really great feature. Looks like, which countries will you provide will your services be provided to? On our end, we're global. We're in North America, Asia, South Africa, the Middle East. So we're a global company right now. Caroline, I'll let you answer on your end.
Yeah, exactly. And that's why also this partnership makes so much sense. It's Minut is also a global company. And so that way with SUPERHOG and Minut, we'll be able to follow you wherever your business is, wherever you're operating. And yeah, so it's if you want to get in touch with, as you can see, we have the email address at the bottom of this slide. If you want to get in touch with SUPERHOG for any more question, any more detail that is more focused on your business, you can get in touch with Michael. And if you want to get in touch with Minut also, we'll be able to tell you more about the product and how this can help also the operation of your short-term rentals. Great. I think we're out of questions here. Well, thank you so much, Michael, for your time and for this great presentation.
It's great to see you. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in, and talk to you soon. Bye-bye.
Oh, wait, one more.
Oh.
Do I need to capture before and after pictures in order to prove the damage was caused by a guest? I've been advised this before. Yes, I would just say that, you know, the biggest thing there is, you know, providing us the information within 24 to 48 hours, especially right after the property's been inspected and the guest has left. So, you know, obviously if you have photos of, you know, a living room and then the couch, and then all of a sudden the couch has, you know, the leg chewed off because the dog decided to eat it. You know, photos like that I think are going to be and would be really, really helpful. So any evidence that you can prove, receipts, anything that you have on, you know, from a cleaner that may have to come in and do an additional clean because certain things were broken or damaged, or there may be smoke. I mean, things like that. We just require that information as soon as possible so we can evaluate the situation.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it says we also take security deposits manually. Is there a way you could manage this? And yes, we do that. We actually have a part of our system where we can actually do kind of, I would call it almost a virtual deposit in a sense. So we can help you with deposits as well. I'd say in North America, I'd see most of the property managers here are getting away from deposits, and you know they're moving strictly to damage waivers. You know, whether they're using a company like ours or they're self-insuring, but we do have that capability. So thank you for that question.
Great.
Okay.
Any more question, or if you have any more question, you can always get in touch with us. And yeah, also I forgot to say this, for people who would like to watch this presentation again or would like to share it with someone else, this we will be sharing this on social media very soon. So it will be available for other people as well. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining, and have a great day. And thank you again, Michael.
Thanks, Caroline. Take care. Be well, everyone.
Ciao. Bye.